Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First up is Blitz mode, second is zoom, third is silent efficiency, and fourth is the suckless layout. Now, to get started with Blitz mode, what actually is it? Well, it's this script that you see over here that's used to enable no animations and basically get no distractions with a key press. So if I press Windows key and F1 over here, it's just going to get rid of all animations so that I can flick between whatever windows that I have, like so, without there being any lag or, without there being any overhead in terms of performance. As you can see, it's also disabled the blur, which means that there is basically no stress being put on the system, which allows the resources that we have to be allocated towards more important tasks. Let's say, for example, that we were running something like a virtual manager. So I open virtual machine manager over here, and then I boot up one of these virtual machines. If, for example, my system is actually taking up a lot of resources and displaying the windows themselves, okay, and if everything is basically blurred and then we have all sorts of fancy effects going on, that's actually going to detract from the performance of the virtual machine itself, which is why I designed this script, Blitz mode, in order to not have that happen, basically, in order for me to get, no distractions with a single key press. This is also like really beneficial if, let's say, for example, you're in work mode and then you just don't want any distractions in terms of blur or this or that or whatever. So what you can do is basically set it up so that you can basically turn on animations and blur and all the other fancy effects that Hyprland has to offer with a single key press. So let's say, for example, I wanted to change my wallpaper to something like a black one. Okay, so that I'd probably do that with something like CO, IMG, pictures, wallpapers, abstract. Okay, so that would completely change my wallpaper to get something black. And then I disable the animations with the keybind that I have in order to enter a no distraction environment. That would help me, get stuff done. And once I'm finished with that, I can load up a different theme like so. And then finally get back to what I was doing before. Let's say that I didn't want this theme and I wanted to pick another theme. After I got out of my, undistracted state, I could pick whichever one I wanted, and that would be that. Basically that, okay? So that is what blitzmode.sh is about. Now I'll just explain how this script works, okay? And by the way, if you want to know how to make a theme switcher like that and write scripts like these for yourself for whatever utility you could possibly want, just click the first link in the description. I show you exactly how to do this step by step with a proven 3-step framework that I have, okay? It's, again, you're not going to find that framework out there anywhere else, so just click the first link in the description and check it out. It can't hurt you, and at best, you get the setup that you've always dreamed of. That's having theme switchers like this one, okay? That looks pretty cool, and you'd basically not be wasting any time. So just click the first link in the description and check it out. Okay, now that we're here, let's see. So first up, we're having this shebang line over here. What does this line mean? So basically, we're telling the shell, okay, we're telling the interpreter to use the bash shell in order to interpret the rest of the script. We have a couple of different shells, like we have ZSH. Okay, ZSH is one shell, and then we have CSH, okay, and then we have KCSH, and then we have a lot of shells, basically. First thing we're doing is just picking the bash shell in order to interpret the rest of our script. Now, the next thing that we're doing over here is creating a variable, okay? So this is how we create a variable in shell scripting. So we have Blitz mode over here, that's the name of this variable, and there's a couple of different ways we can actually create variables. So we have, in terms of the variable naming convention, I mean, so we have this. We also have, capitalizing the variable names and then separating it, the different parts of the name with an underscore. We also have that, but this one is most similar to Python, which looks pretty nice, the snake case convention, so I'm using that over here. Now, there's this $ syntax that you see over here. What is that supposed to mean? Now, whenever we have a $ and then a parenthesis after it, along with this ending parenthesis over here, the shell is basically going to execute whatever command is inside of here and then give that as an output. Okay, and because we're using a variable over here, we're just going to take that output given by this command. Okay, so whatever output this command spits out, we're going to take it and then we're going to store it inside of Blitz mode. So if I just run this command and I show you what it gives us, okay, it's going to give us an output of 1. Okay, as you can see over here, it gives us an output of 1. Now we're using the command awk, okay, we're using the tool awk over here in order to format the output properly so that we get only the data we need. Otherwise, if we run hyperctl on its own this way, this is what we get. Okay, so what awk is doing here is basically setting the number of records to 1. So here you're basically just picking the line number. So you're asking awk to look for the first line number. Okay, so that's going to be over here. And if the line number is the first one, then we're going to print the second column. Okay, so this is the first column. And then we have the second column over here, which is separated from the first column by a white space. Okay, and that's that. So this basically, all in all, gives us number 1, which means that we have animations enabled. Okay, now if blitz mode is equal to 1, so if animations are enabled, then we're going to run all these commands with hyperctl --batch. And by the way, if you haven't checked out my video on hyperctl previously, I show you how to do like really cool stuff with it, like create a greeting menu and whatnot, like this one. Okay, now it's going to open all sorts of applications, but I'll just close all of this. But you get the idea. If you want to know how to make a greeting like that, then just click the first, not the link, but basically just go and watch a YouTube video. Okay, great. Now this is basically just going to look for each of these settings and then just turn them all to 0. Depending on whether this blitz mode variable is set to 1. If it's not set to 1, then we're going to, of course, keep all of our animations. So as you can see over here, it works as a toggle. Okay, you can just quit out of this. And that's it. That is how blitzmode.sh works. Awesome. Okay, then next up, we're going to be dealing with zoom. So if I press the super key and then I use the scroll wheel and then I zoom in, as you can see over here, we have a macOS kind of zoom feature that we have on Hyprland. So this zoom thing, it basically works no matter where I am. Okay, so I can just basically, you know how zoom works, right? It's the same thing. Now, in order to actually configure it, I have opened up this window over here. Okay, so it's in config hyper modules binds.conf. And by the way, if you're wondering what this modules syntax is all about, I cover it in detail in the modularity chapter inside Hyper Accelerator, which is the program in the description. So you can just check it out. Okay, scroll down. And here we see zoom. So what is actually happening over here? If we look for the command that's actually giving us the zoom feature, the zoom up and down, it's going to be these two main ones. And then we have a couple of other ones that do it based on the keyboard, but this is one that we're using, the main one. Okay, so mouse up is going to execute this command, hyperctl-q keyword cursor zoom factor, and then we're passing in this variable, or rather this command. Now, if you remember from the $ substitution command thing that we discussed earlier, whatever command we have inside of these parentheses and preceded by this $ is basically going to get executed, and the output of that is going to get stored. So if we copy this, okay, and then we check out what the output of that is, we can get a better idea of what's actually happening. Okay, so we just paste that in over here. So we get 0.864537. If we remove all of awk's formatting, we just get the cursor zoom factor. Okay, and then awk we're basically using in order to extract just this portion. Okay, now we're actually a little, okay, there we go. And the same thing for mouse down in order to zoom out. That's it. So here we're multiplying it by a scale of 1.1 so that we're actually zooming out with the scroll of the mouse down. And here we're multiplying it with 0.9 in order to zoom in. Okay, like so. And that is pretty much how the zoom works. We also have a couple of other commands, like if we press mod minus, it's going to probably reset. Okay, and if we press mod equals, that's also going to reset. But as you can see here, we can just press equals again and again, and it's going to zoom in, mod equals. Okay, then if we press mod minus, it's going to zoom out, and on and on. Now this thing, if we press mod shift up, it's basically going to reset, I believe. And that's that. The main commands that we need to worry about in terms of zoom are these ones, the mouse ones and the keyboard ones. That is what we have over here. And by the way, this zoom thing you can find in the Hyprland wiki. So you can just copy and paste that from there into your binds section, and you should be good to go. Okay, then next up, we have something that you definitely are not going to find anywhere, and that is something I like to call silent efficiency. Now, silent efficiency is made up of two parts. Okay, one is power profiles daemon. Okay, in the way that I've configured it, and the second one is blitzmode.sh that you saw earlier. So let me show you what power profiles daemon is all about. So you see this little thing over here. Again, if I just use the zoom function to show you what I'm talking about, see this toggle? Yeah, you see how it says power mode performance over there? If I click on that, it says power mode power saver, and then it also says balanced. So that is basically power profiles daemon. Now, if you've used GNOME or KDE or basically any other desktop environment before, you'll know what I'm talking about. So in GNOME, you have this sort of toggle that you have between different performance states, okay, that you can switch through in order to save more battery life or get more performance. And that is managed by power profiles daemon. Here's how you can set that up. So if you're on Arch, which you probably are, you just have to install it with yay-s power profiles daemon. Okay, power profiles daemon, hit enter, type in your password, and that is going to install it for you. Now I already have it installed, so I'm not going to install it again. And once you have that, we get access to a command called power profiles ctl. So power profiles ctl, if we just hit enter, this is what we see. So currently selected profile is performance, as you can see by this asterisk. Okay, and the CPU driver is Intel P state. We don't have to worry about all this stuff. It's just basically showing us the current status of the different profiles and the one that we're using. Okay, nothing to worry about. Now, if we look for the help section of this command, power profiles ctl -help. Okay, and by the way, if you want to know whether any command that you want to run has more options or less, or basically if you want to know like how to actually use a command, you can use the --help option after it in order to get all the options and settings that it supports. Okay, great. Now, power profile CTL list is going to list the available power profiles, which, as we have seen earlier, right through here and over here, is going to be performance, balanced, and power saver. So if we go to power profile CTL list, yeah, we see the same thing over here. Okay, then we have list holds. We see the current power profile holds. That's basically list holds. Okay, how's that? Okay, it's hyphenated, so we'll just type that in. We see nothing. Okay, no problem. Now, all these commands, they're well and good, but the ones that we're most concerned about is get and set. So the get command, what this does is it gets us the current, profile that's selected. So if we run power profile ctl get, we get performance. And then if we run set, we can actually change the profile currently selected to whichever one that we want. Okay, so we can change this to something like power saver in order to save more battery. And once we do that, as you can see over here, indicated by this waybar module, it has already changed the profile, which means that we're going to be saving power from now on. Okay, and if I change it through the bar module over here and then I get again, as you can see, we get performance. Now that is one part of silent efficiency, okay? Being able to control different power states using power profile CTL. Now, after that, we also have another way, which includes the Blitz mode script that I showed you earlier. Now, we can actually do something like this. If we go into config hyper scripts, okay, and then we create a new script.sh, we can rename this later on if we want. But basically, we can do something like this. So we can just type in the shebang bin bash. Okay, now here what we're going to do is like so. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, so what we're doing is identifying whether the currently set profile is performance or power saver, and then adjust the animations accordingly. Now, we don't actually have to create a new script for this, by the way, my bad. We can actually do this with the existing script that we have with Blitz mode. If we go to config hyper scripts blitzmode.sh, okay, you see this over here, right? We can actually add in this command as well. So power profiles ctl set, we can set it to something like power saver. Now this is actually supposed to be performance because we're aiming to increase performance, but it goes both ways, right? If you're using Blitz mode in order to save more battery, then you can just change performance over here to power saver. Okay, if you're actually using this for performance, then you can just set this to performance. But Blitz mode on my machine is going to save power, let's say. So we just set this and then we quit out of it. Now, if we run it, as you can see over here, it disables. Okay, it disables the blur and the animations. And now what's actually happening is that I have entered a power saving mode. Now, if I exit, it should ideally, exit out of this mode as well and go back to the default, which we can configure through a little more scripting, but you get the idea. Like you can use these two together in order to save more battery on your laptop. Okay, and lastly, we have the suckless layout. Now, in Hyprland, we have two supporting layouts, okay? So we have the dwindle layout or we have the suckless layout. Now, if I just show you the wiki and how this works, let's go to wiki.hyper.land, go to layout. You should find it somewhere here. Otherwise, it's in somewhere here. Yeah, dwindle layout and master layout. So dwindle is a BSPWM-like layout where every window on a workspace is a member of a binary tree. So if I just go over to config hyper modules, let's see, we have it in layout.conf. Okay, so we have dwindle and we have gestures, but the actual layout is probably being set someplace else. So let's see where that is. Okay, so it's in decoration.conf where we have the layout set currently to master. So in the master layout, what happens is basically any new window that we open is going to open right over here. Now I've configured it so that the new window is not master, but is actually a slave. But we can change that through a couple of tweaks. It's in config, hyper, modules, misc.conf. Somewhere here, it should be there. Okay, but anyway, new equals master. That should be a setting in one of the configs where the new window is actually going to be the master window. But this layout, as you can see over here, is very similar to the layout that we have in DWM. So we have one master window over here, and then we have a bunch of slave windows that always open on the right, no matter what we do. Even if we hover over here and then open a window, it's always going to end up over here. Let's close all of this, and then let's go over here, change master to something like dwindle. Right, changes, and now whenever we open a new window, it's going to always, open in that BSPWM-like fashion. Now, if we have the cursor on the left side of the screen, it's going to open on the left side. And if we have it on the right side of the screen, it's going to open on the right side. Now, as you can see over here, this layout is very BSPWM-esque. It's basically the exact same thing. Okay, we can tune it like this. We can open a bunch more windows, order them like this, however we'd like. Okay, like this is not something that you'd be able to do in master. But if you want more streamlined settings and a more streamlined setup, okay, you can just use master and then keep things simple without having to, manage your windows and shift your cursor around and move every single time you want to open a new window. You can just use master, and then every single time, it's basically just going to open it on the right side. Now, if you're okay with moving your cursor around and managing windows a little bit more than master allows you to, you can use dwindle. And if you like BSPWM, of course, you can use this layout and it looks just as good. And that should pretty much be it. Those are 4 ways that you can make Hyprland better. And by the way, if you want to know how to make theme switches like this, as I showed you earlier, just click the first link in the description. I show you exactly how to do this without wasting a single second of your time. I've been rising Hyprland and doing this stuff for over 3 years now, and I'm pretty confident that I can help you get to where I am right now in a fraction of the time. So just click the first link in the description. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Trust me, it'll be the best investment you'll have ever made in your life. Just click the first link and I will see you there. Peace.